We just got the first 30,000 impressions run through the post boosts last week. The last 5,000 are gonna run through Wednesday, so we're actually getting a lot of views on those two posts. Not that much engagement. I saw there were a few clicks to the links in the posts, so not sure if they converted into anything, but we're definitely getting you more visibility. Not yet. Okay.
Nothing yet. I mean, all of it helps.
Oh, for sure. I mean, 40,000 eyeballs is more than 7,000. It's just exactly why we have that in place. So it's definitely helpful. Now, on today's call, let me just roll up our Slack thread. Just want to confirm a couple of things. So first of all, as we outlined for the strategy, I think that's going to be good. Hold on, let me put you in here. Okay, so you're changing camera. I really think
I'm just trying to turn off the music or the audio for the.
Oh, let me just mute you there. I think I did. So yeah, it's just audio on the phone.
There we go. Okay, got it.
There you go.
Yeah, I'll play with it. You can keep talking. I'm listening to you. I can multitask.
Okay, cool. It's rare for a man. I haven't met that many who are skilled at it. So hey, man, good for you. Like just personally, I wouldn't be able to. Sometimes when I'm talking to my girlfriend and walking at the same time, I have to stop to say what I mean. So, that's. There you go. You got it. Yeah, it's slightly from the front, right? And then we have the main laptop. Yeah, it's gonna be perfect. Cool. So for today's content, what I want to cover with you is looking at the strategy. We got a few pillars, right? So we want to focus on styles a little bit. We want to focus on playbooks, product updates, customer stories, as well as the learn part. So out of these, we got the product updates covered by you basically sending over a message to me and obviously writing the blog post. And the other one, we have the learn part, which we already wrote up for a couple of weeks ahead. And we still have a lot of the resources on the Morning AI website. So I just want to focus with you on the 3 pillars, right? So for the next 2 weeks, I'd love us to cover 2 different styles today. I'd love us to cover 2 different playbooks. And possibly if you have 2 customer stories, tell me about them. Otherwise, we're going to do some connectors or something else product related if we can't find enough. But I think it would be cool to for you to like break down exactly the Velo event. We briefly spoke about it last time. I'd love some more insights so I actually have better angles to position the post. So I think we could start with that if you're good with that, because that's a smooth transition into the actual interview.
Yeah, for sure. Where do you want to? What's the question you want to start with?
Just tell me more about the Velo, the Velo Live event, right? What was the purpose? What was it about? And by the way, are you comfortable sharing that Velo is your client? Is this all right for you guys?
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to name them yet because we want to. We'll use that like strategically, the conversation with them, the relationship with them. So they'll do a lot for us. Like I can get them to come on, do a recording with us, so I could get them to be in the video itself versus me talking about them in the app specifically, which I think we'll get way more value out of that. So that's my preference. But you're wanting me to talk about the event itself?
If we're able to write up a post about that, well, if you're saying you want to hold it off before you get the video with them, then probably holding off to get the video with them first would be the material for the post itself. Now, would you also be able to get like a proper customer testimonial from them? Like
for sure.
On the Morning AI side?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
for sure. Yeah.
I still think at the end of the day, we wouldn't be tagging them in any way. It's just us talking about the results that I got for them. And if you're good with that, then there's nothing stopping us from posting.
I would just I'm happy to talk about other customers, Velo specifically.
Okay.
Just I'm not. I want to leverage that like in a very specific way or thoughtful way, I guess.
Let's talk about some of the customers that we could name, or at least we could talk specifically about the results that are getting. Any recent ones?
Yeah, I think the one that I'd want to talk about the most, and again, they're willing to be on camera. I can just schedule that. So I think that if we're going to do customer stuff, like we should do that like thoughtfully. I'm happy to talk about things in abstract, but if it's going to be like a named customer, like I'd want to be really intentional about how we do it.
Okay.
So, but I'm happy to talk about like.
I think it would be good though, just for the things that we can cover in the interview. If you're saying that you could just schedule a call with them and like record it yourself, right, and then send over the recording to me, then I can use the recording first of all to send over to Edit Crew, right, to get the visual, but also from the conversation itself, I'm gonna get everything necessary to write up the post.
Yep.
So I think if you can schedule that with them, can I give it to you as an action item from?
Yeah, for sure. All right. Yeah, and I have someone joining my team in 2 weeks. It's either the 10th or the 17th. So one of the things I've scoped for her, she's gonna be responsible for customer testimonials.
Okay.
So just so you're aware of that, so she can take that on.
Nice, amazing. Is that a marketing role or success?
She's going to be a go-to-market and operations engineer.
All right, very cool. Yep. Amazing.
Yep.
Love it.
Yeah.
Based in San Francisco?
Yep.
In person. There you go.
Yep.
Amazing.
Yeah, which I can't wait for. So
really good. Okay, so we can postpone it for a couple of weeks. It's not a big deal on that side. Then what I'd love us to do on the call is actually focus on the two things that we can show visually, right? Which is the styles. I would love us to take an example. As you said in the previous call, right? For different styles that you have in the playbook, what are some of the brands that would be good examples of the brands using them, kind of from the upper end, right, from the big conglomerates versus from the mid-market players or the very smaller niche brands, as we cover that. So I think we can just jump in, and if you want to share a screen, then we'll also capture some of the video.
Yeah. So the other topic is going to be playbooks, right?
Yes, the other one, playbooks.
Yeah. So, this is what's so annoying about me, Leon. Like I know all these new features are coming, so then I'm always like, "Oh, we should just wait until we get that, or we should get that." But it's okay.
Yeah, all right.
All right. So let me just
write about them again in a few weeks when the features.
That's exactly right. So I'm just going to pull up Burger King, since this is what I like to do. Content about. But didn't we picked another brand last time, right?
Yes, we got the Olipop, I believe. They're actually pretty good for getting the visuals, like pretty standardized products across the board. It's just a can, so.
Yep. I'm just cleaning something up really quick, then I'll share my screen.
Sure.
There's some wireless headphone showing up as a product.
For Burger King.
For Olipop, it was weird.
For Olipop, okay, right, there you go.
Yep. So let's pick our styles first. Didn't we already do this together, or did I just show you as an example? And we
you just showed me an example. We went with Olipop, and we went with the. That was it wasn't called the Snow White, but it was one of the wider angles. I'd love to just cover 2 or 3 more.
Right. So the last time we recorded that, are we using that? And I need to do something new.
You mean with the styles, or with the Hall flow?
So the styles, last time I showed you 2 styles. Am I doing the same thing again, or am I?
No, I'd love for us to actually talk more about the different brands that are using it and the vibes that we're getting from there. Because on the visuals slash the post itself, the one thing that I sent over, right, which was the deck, sent me the PDF. I'd love to use it, and I also well, let me restate the question from the Slack thread there. Do you have any designers that are managing it for you? How can we get it in like a PPTX format? Because I would love to just repurpose it. It would be really good for these kinds of posts.
Sorry, I'm like kind of confused, I guess. What are we trying to capture here? Like,
talk about different playbooks. We want to be churning out a post a week about
playbooks or
and then a post a week.
styles?
Styles first and then playbooks, right? So
Okay,
now
so
let's talk about
styles.
Yes.
Here, what do we want to show? Existing
A new style
styles
for a new brand.
Okay.
Not the ones that we showed last time. We showed Lollipop with one of the brighter ones. Don't remember the exact name right now.
Yeah.
Now let's do different brand.
Are you using that? Have you made content for that?
Well, I created the visual.
I haven't looked at it. I haven't looked at it.
Can let me know the feedback. Maybe that would be useful because then I would know what to create out of it. That one was just that was the introducing styles one, right? Well, it was basically about the concept of just showing the same brand in a couple of different visuals. Now, the thing that I'd love to cover with you would be that's what we chatted about last time, right? Which is for a particular style, what are some of the like memorable or brands that you could name that are using it, simply to showcase it.
Yeah, I don't want to do that yet.
Okay, fair. And why is that?
So let's just park the customer stories for today. Like, I just want to, yeah.
Don't mean customer stories, just mean like other brands, not the customers, just like example brands like Burger King isn't a customer, obviously, right? But
yep.
Remember us chatting about like the different types of brands, because you obviously know a lot of brands who are using the different styles. Yeah.
Sorry for being difficult.
No worries. All right. Also not being the easiest in my communication, so we'll get there.
Okay, Riverside's making me quit and reopen to share my screen. I'll be right back.
Sure. All right, we're back.
Yep. Okay. So you can hear me okay?
Yes, all clear.
Okay, cool. Now I got to figure out what style to talk about. Sorry, man. I need like an hour. I need to book on the calendar like an hour in advance of prep. So really? That's on me, not you. I think so. Like, I just need to.
Would that be at all efficient for us? I really don't want you to be putting in so much effort to just the prep. Like, it should be more streamlined for us.
Yeah, that would be ideal, but I think that I don't think that like just me picking out the style to talk about is like takes time, and the brand. I need to make sure I'm better prepared for you. It's like we've spent 30 minutes just talking. which I don't mind talking, but it's
for sure. There's different kind of talking. This one is hard to turn into content, unfortunately.
So let me I'm trying to pick one that would like. Actually, I'm going to use Chobani if you want to look them up.
Chobani. Let me see. What brand are we going with? Olipop again? Burger King?
No, Chobani is the brand.
Chobani. Okay, I don't have that one. All right, fair. So it's a different one. Chobani.
I'm almost ready. All right, Leon, I think you can see me.
Yep.
See the screen?
Yes.
All right, why don't I first just talk a little bit about like the brand that we picked to play with.
Is that right? So
yeah,
Chobani.
So we picked the brand Chobani, which is a really amazing American food company. They're doing really interesting stuff in the dairy aisle with Greek yogurt that's made with like natural, non-GMO ingredients. And the brand is really built on this like powerful identity of like social impact and employee ownership, sustainability, and like community initiative. And so they have, you know, a bit of a modern packaging, as well as like this core mission of doing things that are better for food and better for people. And so it's really a kind of one of the purpose-driven pioneers out in the grocery market today. So we've got two styles we're going to play with. The first is what we call Vibrant Summer. So let me just navigate over to our styles section so you can see it. And then the second one we're going to play with is called Chromatic Overload. And I will describe what each of these are the best I can and do the art directors justice that did this. So this, let's start with the summer style. So our Vibrant Summer. So this is a really like sunny, joyful, energetic kind of vibe, like lots of pops of color and blue sunshine. And this is like, some people might use the words like sun-soaked. And so it's great to bring to life the idea of summer. It's the middle of July right now, so it's a good time to use it. It's very playful, outdoor freedom. So it'll be very interesting to see what it comes up with for that. And then we picked up one that's quite opposite of that. But this is something we call chromatic overload. And so this has got really like an explosion of colors. And so again, it's perfect for summer. It's going to really kind of eliminate any kind of negative space. And so it's going to have a lot of bold colors, super big typography, and really be eye-catching. So both appropriate for the summertime for a food and beverage drink, but very much you'll see how different the aesthetics are when it comes up with these. So what we're going to do is we're going to navigate over to Studio and click Create an Image. And we're going to pick one of Chobani's products here, which it is their high-protein Greek yogurt drink with a tropical punch, which is perfect for summertime. And we're going to pick this 3x4 Ultra mode. And we are going to pick our style here, which we just talked about. And we're going to go to chromatic overload. That's selected. And now we're just going to ask Morning AI to create an image to use for the summertime. So we're going to say we need something fun to use on social that brings our product to life. So consumers associate it with summer activities. And then we were out at the pool, so we're going to say something near a pool. And then we're just going to hit create. And then what that's going to do is generate 4 options for you. Now, one thing that I wanted to highlight, Leon, is that we've upgraded all of our models. So every single image model, video model has been upgraded in the past week. So we're still selecting the Ultra mode, but I'm going to turn it off for a second and ask it to create 4 more images. And what's great is these new models are much faster. So the Ultra mode still takes 2 minutes, but the standard model returns images in about 15 seconds. And the new standard image model is actually above what our previous Ultra model was. So you're getting much higher quality results, much faster than you did before. So this has got
really good.
That kind of chromatic overload style to it. Sorry, I thought I selected the summer one. Nope, I picked chromatic. So you can see here, it tells you what the style is down here on the bottom. It says chromatic overload, 3x4, the Chobani, and it's got this very high saturation look. Now I'm going to just go in and change the style. So go back over here, click on styles, and then we're going to use the vibrant summer. I'm not going to change anything else about the prompt. I'm going to hit create image, and you'll see it's got a significantly different style to it. And while these 8 load, I'll just kind of talk a little bit about this. So the thing that I would highlight is that what our platform is specifically trained on is adhering to your product details and ensuring that everything about the product, whether it's a food and beverage product like this, that every aspect of your label is correct, or it's a big industrial printer that does really cool 3D printing. Every element needs to stay the same and consistent, and all of those details matter. So you can see you got two options here to look at. First, I don't know if there's one that you like the best. I'd probably say just symmetrically, I like this third one the best. So this has got a very fun, this vibrant summer with the splash of the water there, kind of a classic food and beverage technique to use water as a way to bring to life refreshment, as well as bringing to life the ingredients that are part of this specific product and the kind of tropical punch flavor. And so really like that one. I can favorite that. You can see also it's flagged that there's some issues, and so it's got some notes here saying that the word mark is partially cut off, so we want to make sure that we're okay with that. The 0 added sugar, the asterisk not clearly visible, so some really fine details have been picked up, which is why it doesn't have a green check mark. Again, the brand team would be able to come in, inspect these, and make sure that they're okay with it, and that otherwise, I think it looks pretty consistent. Now, one new thing on that, which I didn't expect to go into, but I will, Leon, since we're on here, is that let's say that the user saw this and they wanted to make these changes. They can click the edit button and they can make those requests and say edit with a human. And so with all those little fine details that Morning AI's quality assistant agent picked up on, those can be flagged and sent over to a human, and a human will fix those for the brand team. So it's a very efficient workflow. They can get commercial grade output in less than 24 hours. So very, very efficient. So love this image. We just want to make sure that all those little details are there. I think the chromatic is interesting. It's a little boring, to me, to be honest with you. But it's interesting. It's just a different style. Now, when we use the ultra mode, you can see it's got a little more interesting than what it was down here when we used the standard model. So these it's got a little bit more of the splash view. You'll be able to see it. I'll zoom in here. You can see these really interesting treatments where it's got the flashes of color down here at the bottom, just a much more premium and sophisticated look than what you would get from like a standard model. I will tell you one thing that's probably driving a lot of marketers crazy right now is people are using, ChatGPT specifically, where it's doing some really interesting work with their images. However, it's so clear that the images are being generated by ChatGPT, and they're they're not boilerplate, but they're very clear that they're being generated by a platform like a ChatGPT. And whereas one of our many value propositions is that we are very focused on your brand and ensuring that any asset that gets created is on brand for you, and the AI is absolutely in the background. It's just an enabler for you to bring your brand to life the way that you want. But this particular image here, I love it. I would think that this is something that a creative team could go and use for different purposes. They could add their own copy. They could add turn this into a print ad, a digital ad. Just would need to kind of do some resizing, but very beautiful, very kind of iconic. Brings to life the idea of fun.
It's really good. And
background noise, by the way. I don't know if you're typing or something.
I was just actually writing some of the notes down with a pen. So Chris, conscious of time, and by the way, these are all super, super good. I was actually noting down some of the hooks or other ideas for content that we could have in here, but I love first of all, the commercial grade output. And again, you're slandering ChatGPT. The platform itself, the image models are fantastic, and that's what we're incorporating, of course. But also the way how easy it is to repurpose it for different media types, right? You can have print, ad, digital, all that. So it's actually really good. Conscious of time, because I do have a hard stop in 15 minutes, jumping to another call. So if we can go through one playbook today, that would also be fantastic, and that will already be good for us to get going with the content.
Yep, I'm gonna just download these images so you can use these.
Perfect.
I think I liked. Yeah, that's the one I favorited. All right, so playbooks are a new capability within Morning AI's platform. And so a playbook is a multi-step process that an agent or a series of agents take on behalf of a brand. And so this is something that you as a user can set up for just you to use on your own, or it's something you can share with a couple people on your team, or it's something you can share with your whole organization. And then Morning AI as a company, we have over 100 playbooks that brands have access to when they first sign up to the platform. So what's incredible about these is they are set up to work just the same way that humans work today. So we have, when you ask a morning AI to run a playbook, it is following a very specific defined process, and it is working with a team of agents and sub-agents across several different departments to complete that task. And so what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to create a new document. And so I'm going to start here at the beginning where I first got to just, and then you can actually cut this part out because this is one of the things we're getting ready to change inside of our platform. But let's go here. I'm just going to put this couple things in here. So in order to start a playbook, it's very simple. I'll do this a 2-page sales document that any person on a sales team would be able to take. So we're still playing with the Chobani brand here. And we're going to, in this situation, make the assumption that there's a sales rep that wants to take this brand and go sell it into a new account. So let's pretend for now, in this example, that they want to go sell in to Whole Foods. And so all I did is hit the / key, hit executive point of view sales document, and say, this is to target Whole Foods. Now we're going to try to have this focus on Chobani as a brand, but if you wanted to, you could come here and have it focus on a very specific product if you want. So if you need to create just an individual sell sheet, you could do that. And then I'm just going to hit go, or I'm going to hit click the send button. And what that's going to do is that is going to kick off, again, a multi-step process where there's a number of agents working on your behalf. So you can go grab a cup of coffee while this is going on. You can go check your email. You can, go watch your favorite soap opera, whatever you're into. But what it's doing now is it's researching the company that we asked it to target, which is Whole Foods. It's looking at their current business priorities, their category trends, what their buyer leadership looks like, any recent news, supplier requirements, what it would look like, what they would be looking for new partners. So absolutely like top level thinking about what is going to help that account and our product that we're trying to sell in resonate. And so this process can take, several minutes because it's going to take all of these things into account. And what it's going to create from an output perspective is a 2-page document that a account executive would be able to take and sell into their prospect or their account. So this is going to take 2 minutes to load. So I don't know if you want to ask me some questions while this goes on, but then obviously when you chop up the video, you'll be able to.
For sure, the video or even the playbook itself, I'll be really curious what it's going to look like visually. I'm curious for the account executive. Think about the alternatives. Knowing what you know about how these things are run with most brands, how much time would it take for an AE to actually get this set up without Morning AI?
Yep. Just 1 second, I'll answer that question. But right now it's asking me some questions here. You can see that it's following up. Now you can answer these questions if you would like. I typically like to ask, I'll respond with letting the AI figure it out, but I'll say, this is for the category buyer, for the beverage channel or beverage aisle. It's asking me, is it regional or national? And I'll say, this is for national distribution. So it's asking some really sharp questions so it really understands what to create. And so it's asking me like, where are we at in the deal cycle? Is this cold outreach, early conversations? So I'm going to say, this is part of an early conversation, because obviously the stage of the deal is going to matter in how you articulate what it is. And what do we know about their situation? So we'll say like the category is doing great, but they are looking for new SKUs to increase velocity. And what's the single action you want them to take? I want them to, let's say I want them to approve a test in their stores in Texas. And I'm just going to hit go or hit the send button, and then that's going to go make sure that what it creates is on point. There's some more questions that it asks, but just for the sake of time, I'm going to keep it there. Let's see what it's doing. I think it's recapping everything before we build the 2-page presentation. You could cut this part, Leon.
For sure. No, imagine it'll be like a 10-minute video for everybody to watch.
Yeah, so it's supposed to create automatically a 2-page presentation, but it didn't do it. But I'll send you an example if this takes longer once it gets done, so you can use it in the recording. But you asked what's the alternative? Well, the alternative to this, and it's not necessarily a bad alternative, but the alternative to this is that marketing and sales teams use standardized presentations. And so what happens most often is that the marketer, the brand team is coming up with, or the shopper marketing team is coming up with one standard presentation that the sales team is expected to use for all of their accounts. And so the plus side of doing that is it's very efficient from a times perspective for the marketer. So the marketer knows they need to create one presentation, and the sales team is on the hook for customizing them. So that's highly efficient, highly scalable. The downside of that is, and this is where the marketing teams and the sales teams have friction, is that the sales team knows that they need that presentation customized and so it resonates more with their specific account. And so what ends up happening is a couple things. Either the sales team is not satisfied and they end up making changes on their own, and they're frustrated with just 1 second. It's run into an error. So the alternative is that the sales team goes out and starts making and customizing their own presentations. And so when that happens, it's inevitable that the sales team will come back with content that's off-brand, or it doesn't necessarily represent some of the details that the marketers spend a lot of the time working on to ensure that it resonates, and it creates organizational risk that maybe the sales team creates something that's off strategy or against some of the compliance rules that they might have. And so the reason why the playbooks are so compelling is now the marketer can establish what the playbooks are, establish what the guidelines are, establish what the rules are, and the salesperson can come in and create a custom presentation based off of what the marketer has already agreed to. and it'll do, 90% of the work. And then the sales individual can go to the marketer and say, hey, here's what I've created. Are you good with it? Or vice versa, depending on what the brand's workflow is.
Right. So it basically has one unified source of truth, right? Morning AI, all the brand data, and then you can use it for all the different use cases that you want, instead of having to, for every single thing that you want to do, having to coordinate it between people. You're just comparing whether the output matches some of the guidelines, but you don't have to pre-agree on the things that are already like all across the board, right? Because you just have it in Morning AI.
Yep.
There you go. That's good. And it seems it's working on it. And by the way, a question to you, Chris. Are you always this kind with your AI? I found that being a little bit rude to AI is sometimes getting better outputs for whatever reason.
Yeah, I mean, no, not always. I've definitely
fair
yelled at
enough.
AI a couple times. Yeah, but I do say please and thank you, and
Okay.
tell it it's doing a great job. The reverse is true too. You can, when you tell it to do something and you tell it it's doing a great job, it encourages it to do more of that.
True. That's true. That's true. Well, the upside is that when they come after us, they'll spare you. So that's good. We have the.
Yeah.
Do you have the
So you
other?
can see that it's like one of the things that it does that I think a lot of people like is that it does narrate to you as it's working. So those agents that are working, and I really like to emphasize this, that it truly is set up to work like a organization. So there is a strategy department, there's a creative department, there's a compliance department, so on and so forth. And so in addition to, while those departments are running, there's also a narrator. And so what you're seeing on the screen right now is a narrator agent. And that agent's entire job is just to kind of articulate to you what the teams are doing on your behalf. And so you can see it's describing, what it did. So here you
There
go.
you
We've
go.
got our first one. We'll take this to full screen so you can see it. And what I'll highlight this because I think it's worth it. So it's got a place here for an image that doesn't exist in this account yet, but you can see it's using the brand's colors. It's really kind of articulating like what the situation is, what the kind of three most compelling points are that it wants to make. And then it's got our second slide here of what our ask is, which our ask was to go approve a test in Texas, and why Texas is important, why we want to do it now, and why Chobani, and then summarizing the ask here. What's so awesome, and just to kind of articulate what we have here, is like you can take this, download this PowerPoint, open it up in PowerPoint, but what we are releasing in the next I'd say 2 weeks, even probably by the time this video is out, is that you'll be able to click a button to open and edit this inside of Morning AI.
Oh, amazing.
Just like you could in a PowerPoint, or you're able to send it off to the designers that can do it for you overnight. So
Really
very, very unified like workflow. And I know you got a hard stop, so we'll wrap
yes,
up.
I appreciate that one, Chris. If you can send me over the PPTX, I'll send you over a follow-up in Slack going over what we went, but really appreciate breaking down the two things. I'll send you an idea of how we can better prepare for these calls so that you don't take up as much time, but we can hit the ground running and exactly what to get going. I think I'll be just sending you over a prep, like what were the things, so we can cover it ahead of time and we can just focus the hour on executing it. I think it'll be amazing. So thanks a lot, my man. I'll send you over a follow-up on this, and have an amazing rest of